topic, Manav Seva or Madhav Seva. Since beginning of our Bhagavad Gita classes, we are hearing how we should focus on serving and developing connection with Madhav, the Supreme Lord. And entire spirituality rests on developing connection with the Supreme Lord. So the question comes, when we talk to people and we tell, please आप भी आइए थोड़ा भगवत गीता class है, it is very important. So then sometimes somebody asks, इससे समाज का क्या भला होने वाला है? How it will help the society? Are you doing anything for the society? ये खाली हरे कृष्णा करने से, chanting, dancing करने से, anything good is going to happen for the society. Serve Manav, there are many people who are suffering. उनकी सेवा करिए आप. So today we'll be discussing this very, very important topic, because unless we are not convinced that Madhav Seva is important, then we will not put our heart into it. Till the time we are not convinced by something, we don't practice it with our heart. So today we'll be discussing these two things. Manav Seva means service to mankind. Madhav Seva means service to God, service to Krishna. So there are three things. Sometimes people say Manav Seva और Madhav Seva एक ही है. Serve Manav, automatically Madhav will be pleased. मानव सेवा करिए, माधव सेवा अपने आप हो जाएगी. Some people say, no, they are not identical. There is some intersection. Manav Seva and Madhav Seva, they are different, but there is some intersection. And the third thing is, इन दोनों का कोई संबंध नहीं है. Manav Seva is different, Madhav Seva is different. So now, how many of you feel they are identical? मानव सेवा करो, माधव सेवा हो जाएगी. How many of you feel no, there is some intersection? They are not identical, but there is some intersection. तो कुछ तो कॉमन है, सब कॉमन नहीं है, लेकिन कुछ कॉमन है. Okay. And how many of you feel they are completely different? मानव सेवा और माधव सेवा का कोई लेना देना नहीं है. They are disjoint. ऐसे हैं कोई? And how many are confused? आप ही बता दो क्या मालूम. सब एक ही जैसा लग रहा है हमको तो. So we'll be discussing what is the right concept, what is the right way in which we should see the world. We should see these two principles, Manav Seva, Madhav Seva. Both are, Manav Seva is a very, very benevolent act. मानव समाज सेवा कर रहे हैं हम लोग. So we'll see how Manav Seva and Madhav Seva, are they connected or are they disjoint, or are they identical? So now when we see the suffering of people in this world, we try to see the immediate cause. इसका immediate कारण क्या है? So let's go deeper in the world economy and understand what is the problem in the world economy. This is very interesting statistics. Every year, $13 billion are spent in just US and America, US and Europe, on what? Perfumes. Just to smell good. This money can feed people all over the world. Nobody thinks about ordinary, common, poor people when they put perfume. उस समय याद नहीं आती भगवान की, उस समय याद नहीं आती मानव की. And so much money is spent on cosmetics. IPL में कितना खर्चा होता है? Every ball is at stake, right? सब पे सट्टा लगता है. एक एक बॉल पे लाखों लाखों का सट्टा है. नहीं मालूम नहीं आपको? अच्छा, it's a news for you, it seems. Okay. Every ball costs lakhs, you know. Then nobody thinks about beggars. When crores of movies are made, some time back there was a movie which had come. Oh my God. फिर पीके देखा है? कितने लोगों ने देखा? Oh my God. पीके और कितने लोग लगा क्या लॉजिकल बोलते हैं, ये कौन है वो उसमें? कांजी भाई लॉजिकल बोलते हैं एकदम, नहीं लगा? लगा होगा ना, थोड़ा बहुत लॉजिकल बोलते हैं, स्टार्टिंग में लगा. So those who make these movies, they never think about the beggars. वो इतना करोड़ों रुपया मूवीज में डाल रहे हैं, गरीबों को दान दे दो. You know, there is अभी कुछ दिन पहले एक बहुत ही फेमस रॉक म्यूजिशियन आया था, क्या नाम था उसका? क्रिस मार्टिन. सुना है आप लोगों ने? नहीं सुना? गुड, थैंक यू. नहीं सुना? अच्छा. When they publicized they did their advertisement, they thought initially they'll do only for one day. Within 30 minutes, all the tickets were gone, and every ticket cost 30,000. 45,000 my ticket. अच्छा देखिए, latest update है. They did for 3 days that show. Many years back, there was another Justin Bieber. He had come. His ticket was 75,000 per ticket. वहां से शुरू होता है. House full. Then nobody thinks about beggars. उस समय याद क्यों नहीं आती? मूवीज जाते हैं तो मूवीज में मत जाइए. You give to beggars, then nobody thinks about beggars. You know, whenever we get anything for our body and the mind, then we don't think about beggars. मुझे मजा आ रहा है ना, ये गरीबों को क्यों याद करना है भाई? But when it comes to giving to God, भगवान को कैसे दे सकते हैं? Then we have to think about beggars, you know. Another thing is, if people they think about beggars, why not think about beggars only? Why not think about, you know, only giving mercy to beggars? Why not think about animals also? Such slaughterhouses are maintained. Why not see God in animals also? You know, Srila Prabhupada, he would always say, people they talk about Daridra Narayan. You know, ऐसा concept बनाया लोगों ने, Daridra Narayan. मतलब गरीबों में भगवान है. क्यों अमीरों में भगवान नहीं है? So Prabhupada would say, if God is there in Daridra, he is not in Dhani. Dhani Narayan नहीं हो सकते. You know, they are making God as poor God, Daridra Narayan. So that is the interesting thing about the economy of the world. When people they don't see this is another statistics. UN Secretary General admitted that meat consumption in rich countries is key cause for hunger around the world. You know, this is a simple calculation. If 16 kg of grain can feed 20 people, if the same 16 kg is fed to one cow, and it produces only 1 kg beef, वो कितने लोग खाएंगे? So that's how it is so very important to understand what is happening in the world. In the name of, you know, doing charity for poor, people are not realizing how this one thing is affecting the world economy. You know. So therefore, another statistics says that if the entire world reduces their meat consumption by 10%, 100 million people can be fed. You know. So this is another statistics. So that's how we should understand there is no shortage of food in this world. There is mismanagement due to greed. When people say, अरे इतने गरीब लोग हैं, बेचारे इतने गरीबों को खाना नहीं मिल रहा है, there is no problem with food resources. There is problem with the Greed. Mismanagement due to greed. Another cause of starvation is alcohol. Millions of dollars are spent on alcohol. Then nobody thinks about beggars. उस समय तो याद नहीं आती, गरीबों को बांट देते हैं, हम नहीं पिएंगे, बांट देते हैं, you know, गरीबों को दान देते हैं. No, उस समय नहीं याद आती है. When a person is drunk, then he is in other state. One person, he was trying to come out of alcohol addiction. So घर में आया, शराब की बोतलें पड़ी थी, तो शराब की बोतल को देखता है, बोलता है ये शराब समाज को खत्म करती है, ये शराब इंसान को खत्म करती है, आओ इस शराब को खत्म करें, एक बोतल तुम खत्म करो, एक बोतल हम खत्म करें. उस समय याद नहीं आती भिखारियों की, because that's for me, right? Whatever is for me, उसमें मैं गरीबों को क्यों याद करूं? But why to give God anything? भगवान को कुछ नहीं देंगे, because भगवान हमें क्या दे रहे हैं? He is not even seen, whether he is there or not, nobody knows. That is how people, they handle these type of things. Most of the times we deal problems at a superficial level. बुखार तो सबको हुआ होगा कभी, fever. So if some of your friend comes and says ठंडी लग रही है, बुखार, मलेरिया का फीवर है, ओके कंबल डाल देते हैं, कम हो गया ना, हाँ बस ठीक है, वापस जाते हैं. Will it solve the problem? It will solve for some time. So there is a temporary solution and there is a permanent solution for everything. So what is the difference between giving temporary solution or a permanent solution? कौन temporary solution देगा, कौन permanent solution देगा? The person who has knowledge will give permanent solution. And the person who has no knowledge, he will try to just give temporary things. भाई ये ले लो, ठीक है, क्रोसिन ले लो, ठीक है, कम हो गया ना, बस ठीक है, देखो काम हो रहा है. And then again fever comes, again give tablet. The problem, the fever may go down for some time, but what will happen? After some time again it will come. So that's how we have to understand that temporary solutions are okay, they are needed, but they are not the only thing we should do in our life. Most of the times when people, they hear about all these problems of the world, and when people, they start coming to our programs, यार आप लोग मरने वरने की बात बहुत करते हो यार, थोड़ा हंसी मजाक, थोड़ा खुशी खुशी बातें किया करिए, आप क्या मरने की बातें करते हैं. They don't understand everything which looks good, it has a deeper understanding. Everything has a bad, it also has a deeper understanding. Most of the times we try to be happy in the mode of passion. Bhagavad Gita-Manav, 18th chapter, 38th verse. Krishna describes what is happiness in the mode of passion. Most of the times we want to get the immediate results. We don't think कि भाई इसके बाद क्या होगा, अभी मजा आ रहा है ना, अभी शांति मिली ना, बाद में देखेंगे. That is happiness in the mode of passion. मिल गया सबको? विषयेंद्रिय संयोगात् यत्तदग्रे अमृतोपमम् परिणामे विषम इव तत्सुखम राजसंस्मृतम्. Translation, somebody please read.
That happiness which is derived from the contact of the sense with their object, and which appears like nectar at first, but poison at the end, is said to be of the nature of passion.
So most of the times we try to enjoy things in a very superficial level and immediate. अभी मजा आना चाहिए, अभी शांति मिलनी चाहिए, अभी खुशी मिलनी चाहिए. We don't try to go to the deeper level of understanding. So that's why when people, they see suffering in this world, immediate, अरे इसको कुछ दो, इसको खाना दो, उसको medicine दो, he is not able to get clothes also, do something. But in today's discussion, we'll try to go a little deeper. what is actually the cause of starvation? Why people are suffering? The cause of starvation is two ways: lack of sense control among the needy people and greed among the wealthy people. And there is greed. Any amount of things they get, they are never satisfied. That is greed. Mahatma Gandhi said, there is enough in this world for everyone's need, but not for one person's greed. इस संसार में सब कुछ है सबके लिए. Sufficiently it is there. But if somebody is greedy, even entire earth will be less for that person. The greed is never satisfied. We have heard about Hiranyakashipu. He was the most powerful demon the world has ever seen. He had conquered entire universe. Apart from Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, इन तीनों के अलावा सब लोग उनके कंट्रोल में. If he would just raise his eyebrows, देवतास would tremble. बोले क्या चाहिए, आप क्यों पूछ रहे हैं, बताओ ना क्या चाहिए, हम करेंगे. If we raise our eyebrows, maximum what will happen? लोग बोले किसको आंटी कर रहे हैं? Nothing will happen. But when Hiranyakashipu would raise his eyebrows, devatas would tremble. If he is walking and he thinks थोड़ी गर्मी लग रही है, walking खुले में एकदम walking गर्मी लग रही है, so he has to just raise his eyebrows and वायुदेव will say, क्या चाहिए, कम करना है टेम्परेचर, बोलो ना कम करते हैं. That's how powerful he was. And if he thinks थोड़ी रिमझिम बारिश भी होती तो अच्छा होता, तो वरुण देव will starts drizzling. That's how powerful he was. Just imagine if somebody has all these things, you should be very happy and satisfied, right? होना चाहिए ना, संतुष्ट जीव. But what was the condition of Hiranyakashipu? सैत्तम निर्जित ककु बेकराट विषयान प्रियान यतोपजोषम भुंजानो न तृप्यत अजितेन्द्रियः. He was the unrivaled conqueror. He got whatever he wanted, but still he was ना तृप्यत, फिर भी तृप्त नहीं है, because he was uncontrolled in senses. He was गोदास. गोदास का उल्टा गोस्वामी. So there is a greed among the wealthy people. That's why whatever you give them, they are never satisfied. And if you give something to the needy people, they will use in all wrong things. This is another very funny, interesting video. इसमें sound. Okay, ठीक है, whatever sound. ये इसका connected है ना मुझे? This sound system must be connected, right? Just wait a minute. नहीं, उससे नहीं होगा. नहीं, उससे नहीं होगा. नहीं आ रहा है. Anyways, the sound was not much, but still you can just see how this man is, he got a hole from where everything is going inside. And he thinks अभी कुछ ना कुछ तो कर सकते हैं. So this is what happens when we get something, when we don't have integrity. Naturally, the mind goes towards the wrong things. कैसे गड़बड़ करें? How to exploit resources, get something without paying the price. So he thought, अब क्या करें? He remembers तिजोरी रखी है उधर. So he starts taking out all the money. Oh yeah. So that's how the greed is. You know, the greed can really take one to the lowest of the destinations. So poverty and starvation is not because the resources are less, because there is greed among the wealthy people. You know, there is a study in the famines of Africa. It was always noted that the neighboring country had abundant grains. So the starvation happens because there is greed among some people. So that's how this is another very sad picture. And somebody must have seen this. There's another picture from Africa. Child is just searching for the food and the vulture is waiting for the child to die. So the person who took this picture, Kevin Carter, remembering this scenario, he went into depression, he committed suicide. So that is the situation in today's world nowadays. Nearly 1 in 4 people, that is 1.3 billion, they live on less than $1 per day. So that is the scenario in today's world. And the world's 358 billionaires, they have the assets combined, which are combined annual income of the countries with 45% of world's people. So that's how, there is a great disparity. The resources are very unequally divided amongst the greedy people, and they are not doing anything for the society. And the movies which make all these things, all these, you know, uh, such type of propaganda कि why are you giving for the God? अच्छा इन मूवीज में से कितना इन लोगों ने दिया रहेगा बेगर्स के लिए? 25%? जीरो, कुछ नहीं दिया होगा, you know. So the movies and the critics which talk about feeding poor people, you ask them how much you are spending for feeding people. And is it that the money spent in temple is the cause of starvation among the poor people? Is it the case? Achha, another question. Why you find it beggars outside temple only? Why not outside the malls and theaters? कभी सोचा है? क्यों? भगवान के नाम पे कुछ दे दो. Because the beggars also know कि people are coming here, they have a soft heart. They are praying to God, they'll give to us also. And outside malls and movie theaters, they are always in enjoying mode, so who will care for the beggars? भिखारी को बारे में कौन सोचेगा? So that's how it is so very important to understand this principle. When there is greed in the society, then there will be always a section of people who will suffer, who will starve. And if you give to beggars something, and this picture is sufficient. He's asking for what? पैसा भी मांग रहा है, भीख मांग रहा है, किसके लिए मांग रहा है? मुझे बियर पीना है। एंड पीपल दे गिव, बेचारे को बियर नहीं मिल रहा है पीने के लिए, चलो भाई देते हैं। And we know that when we give something to somebody, and if that person is using that money in wrong things, we also get implicated in that. So before giving money to people, we should be very, very conscious and aware what this person will do with the money which I am giving. Of course, it is not that we should become very cruel, hard hearted, not giving money, but we should always be careful. Otherwise, people, many countries, they give, free allowances to those who are unemployed. And most of the times, what happens when free money comes? They become lazy or
Expectations increase.
they misuse it. They start taking drugs and intoxication. Free money aa raha hai na. So that's why it is so very important to understand, if people are not taught how to be self controlled, whatever money you give them, they will use it for wrong things only. Beggars will always remain beggars. Even if you give them 1 lakh rupee, they will squander it in some days and again they will come back to begging. There is lack of sense control among the needy people. So therefore, when we hear about starvation and all the problems of the world, we should not just see the superficial problems. One time a businessman, he is on a vacation, weekend vacation, he goes to a village and he sees a farmer lying down very peacefully on a खटिया, खेत में चारपाई डाल के आराम से सो रहा है. And he tells, Ray, what are you doing? Wasting your time, just work. You have nothing. So he says, अच्छा, so साहब काम करने से क्या होगा? He says, just see, just look at me. I am working whole day. I have companies in so many countries. अच्छा, so उसके बाद आप क्या कर रहे हैं अभी? Then I am planning to increase my business. And then what? After that, what will happen? Then I have put my son in the best of the schools. उसके बाद, and I am making him very expert in running business. अच्छा उसके बाद, and after he becomes expert, I will put him in business. I'll teach him also. And then after that, what he will do? And when my son is sufficiently able to take over my business, then one day I'll give him everything and then come to village and retire and enjoy like this. So he said, that's what I'm doing now.
Whole life you're
So what is the use of spending all the years and doing the same thing which I have to do again at the end? So people, they don't understand because they are not taught the principles of satisfaction, living a life of purpose. Just imagine if you are told or somebody is told, you will die in this year after so many years, and people will talk about you. So what all things we want people to talk about us when we leave this world? क्या बोलना, क्या सुनना चाहते हैं हम अपने बारे में? अरे इन्होंने इतना मजा किया लाइफ में, मालूम है. He could eat whatever he want. What do we want to hear? हमारे बारे में क्या सुनना चाहते हैं हम लोगों से? कुछ नहीं सुनना चाहते हैं. बोलिए. गुड पर्सनालिटी मतलब क्या गुड? अच्छा आदमी थे खाली बस. एनीथिंग स्पेसिफिक? ओके, ही वाज काइंड हार्टेड. अच्छा, और क्या सुनना चाहते हैं?
serve for them,
ओ समाज सेवा कितनी की है इन्होंने. ही हैज हेल्प मेनी पीपल. और परिवार का ख्याल रखा है. ठीक है. और अच्छे वे में बोल रहे हैं कि खाली कमाया है इसने जीवन में और कुछ किया ही नहीं है. So, we all want to hear some good things about us. But have we wondered, are we working on that? हम जो चाहते हैं कि लोग हमारे में बोले हमारे बारे में, are we working on that? नहीं नहीं, I live a selfish life, but लोग मेरे बारे में अच्छा बोलना चाहिए. I will not do anything for the society, for the people, but लोग मेरे सामने मेरे बारे में अच्छे बोलना चाहिए when I go. So people, they don't understand, when we are helping people in a very superficial way, that help is very temporary. It will not help the person in the long run because he will remain beggar only. On the other hand, if we work on giving them right understanding about the life, if we work on giving them some spiritual knowledge, and if we are capable enough teaching them how to earn money, that is a sustainable way of helping people. Rather than just giving some charity and then they will use that money again, do the same thing. One of our devotees, Indradyumna Swami Maharaj, very senior sannyasi in ISKCON. Many years back there were floods in Sri Lanka. Entire country was suffering. So Maharaj and some devotees, they went to Sri Lanka and they met the officials and they said, we also want to give some, food relief or something. So these officials said, we have enough NGOs who are giving us so many, different types of help. But still, we need people who can help these, all the countrymen in their mental state. They are really suffering. They have lost their family. They have nothing. They have no home. Although we are giving them food, clothing, shelter, but still they are very sad. And whenever the free food relief or free money comes, immediately the liquor bars start around that place. Because people, they want to just forget the misery. So Maharaj and all the devotees, they said, okay, we'll do something for them. So they started doing kirtan. And then somebody said, here Lord Ram is very famous. So they started singing the names of Lord Ram. And in the beginning, when people they came, they started singing, but they were not so happy. But as the kirtan went on, after an hour or so, they were all happy, joyful, dancing in kirtan. So that is what we should understand. It is not about just helping people on a physical level. It is also about helping people on a mental level and spiritual level. It is important. So far, we have not explored about Madhav seva. We are just working about what is Manav seva. People are doing Manav seva, but what is the result of that Manav seva? The beggars remain beggars only. And they don't get any other benefit. They are not taught how to live a better life. But spirituality, how it will help the society. There are two causes we heard. What are the two causes of starvation? The greed among the wealthy people and lack of sense control among the needy people. So spirituality is a time-tested process to remove the greed from the heart of people. It is sure short formula. When people they come and they start practicing spiritual life, by default they want to serve. And a spiritual minded person, he thinks in two ways. If I'll give wealth, if I'll give some charity, then I'll get some pious credits, punya milega. And the second thing, he realizes that everybody is ultimately children of God. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvabhuteshu kaunteya murtaya sambhavantiya tasam brahma mahadayoni aham bija pradapita. Krishna says, I am the father of everyone. So when in the family, if one boy is helping his brother, will father not be happy? Of course, father will be happy. So a person who is having developing connection with the Lord, he naturally wants to serve other living entities also. But when people are godless, then they become more and more materialistic. I want more. I don't care for the society. I don't care for anybody. I don't care for animals. I'll just work for increasing my sense gratification. मुझे मजा आना चाहिए. So that is a problem. So we may feed few hungry people, but if we remove greed from the hearts of wealthy people, then many more can be benefited. Actually, there is no shortage of food in the society. There is shortage of compassion. Because the satisfaction comes when we start connecting with God. Because people think, what all things people think, ये मिल जाएगा तो I'll be happy and satisfied. क्या लगता है लोगों को satisfaction, संतुष्टि कैसे मिलेगी? शांति से बैठे सब. Pin drop silence. Money. पैसा कमाओ तो शांति संतुष्टि मिलेगी. So can money buy satisfaction? सबको मालूम है, लेकिन सबको लगता है थोड़ा मिलेगा तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है, सेटिस्फैक्शन बाद में देख लेंगे, अभी पैसा मिलना चाहिए. But money can't buy satisfaction. Whatever you do with money, you will get pain, you will get anxiety, you will get labor, and you will get illusion. अर्थस्य साधने सिद्धे उत्कर्षे रक्षणे व्यये नाशोपभोग आयासस्त्रासश्चिंता भ्रमो नृणाम्. Artha, wealth, if you want to sadhana, acquire it. Siddha, protect it. Rakshana, protect. Utkarsha, increase. Vyaya, even if you want to spend it, क्या होगा? चार चीजें होंगी. आयाशस, intense labor, मेहनत होता है. त्रास, त्रास तो समझ गए. चिंता and भ्रम. So money can't give satisfaction. Because whatever you want, whatever you get, it will never give satisfaction. The famous is Hiranyakashipu. So we have to understand, when people think, I want more to get satisfied, that satisfaction will never come. Satisfaction is not an emotion which will come automatically. It is a decision we have to make. We have to decide that I will be satisfied with this much. नहीं तो कभी संतुष्टि नहीं मिलने वाली है. ऐसा एक दिन सुबह उठ के आज से संतुष्टि, ऐसा नहीं होने वाला है. We have to decide that this will give this much only, that's it. Can sense gratification give satisfaction? Enjoy and satisfy? No. It is like putting ghee in fire. आग बुझेगी, घी में आग में घी डालेंगे तो और बढ़ेगी. So anything you do, can relationships in this world give satisfaction? मिलता है? नहीं? लेना पड़ता है. None of the relations can give satisfaction in the long run. It only increases the desires. कथं प्रियाया अनुकंपिताया संगम रहस्यं रुचिरां शमंत्रान् सुहृत्सु तत्स्नेहशिता शिशूनां कलाक्षराणाम् अनुरक्तचित्ता. A person, when he hears the sweet voice of the wife or the husband and the broken words of the children, looks so attractive. And the mind is completely absorbed in that. Then he remembers about his old parents. Then my daughter is getting married. She should go to a good house. All these things the person is always thinking. And this is like weaving a cocoon around itself. जितने संसार के चीजों और वस्तुओं और व्यक्तियों के बारे में सोचेंगे, it is like cocoon. त्यजेत कोशात् कृदिवेहमान कर्माणि लोभात् अवितृप्त काम औपस्थ्यजैवं बहुमन्यमान कथं विरज्येत दुरन्त मोहा. It's like त्यजेत कोशकृत. Just like a silkworm weaves the cocoon and dies inside. Karmani lobhat. Desires are unlimited. वो 99 क्लब वाला स्टोरी सुना है ना? 99 क्लब चलता रहता है वो. Never ends. So nothing of this world can give satisfaction. If we want to be satisfied, the compassionate heart comes only when we connect to the Supreme Lord who can make one satisfied. When people are given spiritual education, then the greed can be removed. It is natural. We have seen many times in the history when anyone take to spirituality, by default they become charitable. They want to help people in the long run. And India, sometime we'll discuss this very, very interesting topic, Mera Bharat Mahan. सुना तो बहुत है हमने. मेरा भारत महान कैसे था वो नहीं मालूम है. Because India नहीं, Bharat. The culture of India was based on spirituality. India was not known for high-rise buildings and fast cars and technology. India is known for culture and spirituality. So this person, Lord Macaulay, when Britishers wanted to rule India, they sent Macaulay, go and just do the research. What is this India all about? How can we win over India? So he traveled the length and breadth of India and then he came up to this report. It was a long report. This is an excerpt from this. So in that he says, I roam quite a lot in India, right, left. And very interesting thing, what he's saying, I have not seen a single beggar. A single person who is a beggar or a thief. So that is something to note. Such a great country where he is not able to see only any single beggar or thief. Why? It was not that everybody was like rich only. Everybody was having good resources. They may not be rich, but they were satisfied. He says, I have seen so much of wealth in this country, such high character, so many talented people. If we want to win over this country, we have to break the backbone of country. What is the backbone of our country? Spiritual education and Gurukul system. And they systematically destroyed these two. Everywhere there was free distribution of food. What are the three most money-making businesses? Food, education, and medicine. All these three were freely available in India. You know that. Education was free. गुरुकुल में गुरुजी थोड़ा ना अभी यहाँ मेरे को फीस दो तभी एंट्री मिलेगा. गुरु दक्षिणा जो देना है दे दो. And food was freely distributed. In the ancient India, in the Vedic India, every householder, after he cooks food, the food is cooked in the family, he goes out and shouts, anybody hungry? 3 बार बोलेगा. कोई आया तो ठीक है, उनको पहले खिलाएंगे, then we'll eat. आज कर सकता है कोई? Not possible. And medicine was freely available. वैद्य जी के पास जाइए, वो जड़ी बूटी देंगे और जो भी उनको दान देना है दो. It was a Brahminical culture. Everybody was satisfied because the foundation was spirituality. Nobody was suffering. There were no beggars. India was the richest country. The GDP of India was on number 1. So that's how we have to understand when people they go away from spirituality, then they have to artificially do all these समाज सेवा एंड एनजीओ खुल रहे हैं और ये हो रहा है वो हो रहा है, they are forgetting the root cause. They are just taking care of the superficial problems. Go to the root cause, everything else will be taken care of. Mother Teresa, she says, by praying I feel love for God and all his children. I want to help them as much as I can. So that's how it is inborn, ingrained in a spiritual person. One time somebody asked Mother Teresa, what is the secret of your compassion? She took out her rosary beads. She would also chant. And she said, by praying, I feel love for God and I want to serve the children of God. So that is natural for a spiritual person to help everyone. And people are satisfied. आज की दुनिया में कितना भी भिखारी होगा, आजकल के भिखारी तो प्रोफेशनल भिखारी होते हैं, कार में आएंगे और भीख मांग के कार में जाएंगे, ऐसे भी लोग रहते हैं। बड़े बड़े 2 BHK 3 BHK घर भी होंगे उनके। रियलिटी बता रहा हूं मैं। That's how it is. So Vedic culture was a culture of honesty, integrity, based on foundations of spirituality. सबको राम राज्य चाहिए, राम नहीं चाहिए, कैसे होगा? And that's how Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, these 2 beautiful verses. Many other verses talk about how a spiritualist naturally wants to help others. We'll recite this verse. Labhante brahma nirvanam rishaya shina kalmashah chinnadvaidhaya tatpana sarvabhuta hiterata. So this verse says Labhante Brahma Nirvana. When somebody connects to Krishna, Rishaya Shina Kalmasha, when they have destroyed their sinful activities, then what they want to do? Sarva Bhuta Hiterata. They naturally want to help others. Connection with Krishna automatically makes one favorable and helpful towards everyone. In the second verse, another verse also, Krishna says, Atma Pamena Sarvatra Samam Pashyati Arjuna Sukham Vayadi Va Dukkham Sayogi Paramo Mataha. So this personality, he is seeing everyone Atma Upamena Sarvatra. There's a beautiful saying, treat others as you want others to treat you. So a devotee naturally does this. He takes care of people like he wants others to take care of himself. That's a natural outcome. That's why Srila Prabhupada would always say, only one thing is needed. There is lack of only one thing, that is Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada went to London. And reporters, they asked him on the airport, Swamiji, why you have come here for? Prabhupada said, you Britishers, you looted India. You brought everything, but you forgot to, get the most important thing. I have come to give you that is Bhagavad Gita. I have not come here to take anything from you. The mayor of London came to meet Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, I have heard that you went to America and you transformed many hippies. They were into drugs and alcohol and all wrong things. Can you help us also? In London, we are really suffering this issue. So Srila Prabhupada, he started, you give us a place in the middle of your city first. So he said, Swamiji, what I am asking, what are you saying? So Prabhupada said, you are not understanding. You give us the place and we will start this Krishna conscious activities, and then you see miracles will happen. How people will give up all their wrong habits. Even before going to America, when Prabhupada was in India, he was going to various places teaching Bhagavad Gita. So he wanted to do some preaching in Delhi, and he approached the president and he said, I will accept your proposal if you can do something for the prisoners. If the prisoners in the jail they become transformed, then we will accept that the spirituality is needed for the society. So yes, Prabhupada took that challenge. He went to the jail and he started taking regular classes, Bhagavad Gita classes. हमारे गौरांग प्रभु भी पहले जाते थे जेल में प्रीचिंग करने के लिए. एक बार ये आर्थर रोड जेल है ना, तो एक बार एक डिवोटी आया, बोला रिसेप्शन में पूछा, प्रभु जी गौरांग प्रभु हैं क्या? मैं बोल जेल गए हैं. जेल गए हैं? अरे क्लास देने के लिए गए हैं. So Srila Prabhupada, he started doing these classes, and the warden, the jailer of the jail, he gave report to president that this process really works. Many of our prisoners, they are getting transformed. So that is the highest welfare activity. Srila Prabhupada, when he was in Mayapur, in the beginning days of ISKCON, they were building, some buildings in Mayapur. And it was the festival day, Gaur Purnima festival tha. And after the festival, Srila Prabhupada was standing on the terrace of the Lotus building, and he saw some nearby villagers. The children, they came and they were searching food in the dustbin. So Prabhupada, he felt so sad. He called the manager and the president of the temple that time, and he said, from today onwards, nobody should go hungry in 10-kilometer radius of our temple. So that's how Food for Life started in ISKCON. It is a natural activity of a heart which is full of Krishna. They want to serve others. And you will see many places, in many temples in India, free distribution of food happens. Tirupati गए आप लोग? कितने लोग गए तिरुपति? उसमें प्रसाद लिए वहां पे ऊपर जाके. Such wonderful prasads, nicely they serve. Millions of prasadam plates are distributed every day in that golden temple, Amritsar. लंगर चलता रहता है, सेवा भी होती है. करोड़पति लोग आके, they clean the shoes, they polish the shoes and give. So that's how, when people, they have spirituality, then they naturally want to help and serve. So therefore, we have to replace the greed with compassion. And when people say, "अरे आप लोग क्या कर रहे हो? ये नाच गा के क्या होने वाला है?" What difference it will make to the society? We are trying to remove the greed from the hearts of people. That is very, very important. Because the greed means I want what others have. And compassion means I will give to others what I have. So the more we connect to Krishna, the compassion increases in the heart. So therefore, when we think of Madhav, Manav seva or Madhav seva, they are not isolated activity. There is an intersection. We should never feel मानव सेवा करो तो माधव सेवा अपने आप हो जाएगी, माधव तो खुश हो जाएंगे मानव की सेवा से. No, we should never ever replace Madhava seva with Manav seva. Because if we are not doing Madhava seva, Manav seva is not sustainable. It will not give results in the long run. So that is very, very important. So compassion comes when we connect to Krishna. We should know how to help people. Just imagine, many years back there were terrorist attacks in Mumbai, and I was in medical college. So many people were getting admitted. Just imagine, उस समय there is a lack of doctors. इतने लोग आ रहे हैं. So if somebody goes to the first year student के क्लास में जाके बोले, ये क्या टाइम पास कर रहे हो आप लोग? इतने सारे पेशेंट्स लोग मर रहे हैं, आप बैठ के पढ़ रहे हो यहाँ पे, जाओ हेल्प करो उनको. तो फर्स्ट ईयर वाला स्टूडेंट क्या बोलेगा? हम लोग जाएंगे ना, जो भी बचे हुए लोग हैं वो भी मर जाएंगे. We don't know how to serve, how to help them. So people, they want to help, but they don't know how to help in a sustainable way. Just giving some food or money or clothes or medicine, that is not sustainable in the long run. That should be done, but try to give spiritual education. Remove the greed from the hearts of people. That will automatically bring a very, very wonderful holistic culture in the society. So that is what we have to understand. Intentions are good, but we should know how to help. Just like Srila Prabhupada tells a story. एक बार एक छोटा बच्चा उसको टाइफाइड हुआ एंड doctor had told that it should not be given anything fried and only plain simple khichdi. So mother, she was taking care of the child. So one day she had to go out for something, so she told the elder sister, बेटा मैं जा रही हूँ, भाई का ख्याल रखना, I'll come in 2 hours. She said, okay, ठीक है, I'll take care, don't worry. So after mother is gone, छोटा बच्चा बोलता है, दीदी मुझे ना पकोड़ा खाना है. बोले अरे मम्मी ने बोला है बेटा तेरे लिए पकोड़ा ठीक नहीं है भाई. नहीं नहीं, you don't love me, you love me ना, please give me पकोड़ा. So she also thought हाँ मेरा भाई कितना प्रेम से बोल रहा है, ठीक है तेरे लिए मैं पकोड़ा बनाती हूँ. So she cooked पकोड़ा and she gave पकोड़ा. और खाने के बाद क्या हो गया भाई का हालत और खराब हो गई. So she had good intentions, but she didn't know how to help the brother. So people, they have good intentions of helping society, but they should know how to help society in a better way. So that is what spirituality teaches us. It gives us right spiritual wisdom so that we can help poor people to have sense control and help wealthy people remove greed from their heart. So that is how we have to understand material compassion. It is not wrong. We are not against material compassion. कल से दान देना बंद. No, ऐसा नहीं है. But we should know how to help in a holistic way. That is very important. Just like we have heard how a child who is lost in Kumbh Mela, one person comes and gives some food. Other person comes and says, अरे बेचारे को चोट लग गया, चलो ड्रेसिंग कर लेते हैं, बेचारे कपड़े ये पे फट गए, कपड़े दे देते हैं. Another person comes and says, अरे he is the son of a billionaire, we'll take him to his father. So, are the other 3 people doing wrong? No. But they are not doing the right thing, complete, perfect right. They are just doing the temporary solution. अभी देंगे फिर से उसको भूख लगेगी, अभी उसका ड्रेसिंग किया दोबारा उसको कुछ होगा. So better give him all that and connect him to his father also. So that is spirituality. That is a sustainable culture. And the Vedic kingdom, the kingdom of Yudhishthir Maharaj was like that. It was such a prosperous kingdom that even Devatas were envying the opulence of Yudhishthir Maharaj. Everybody was so happy in the kingdom of Yudhishthir Maharaj that the cows would give milk without milking. ठीक है आप लोगों ने कभी बिना दूध निकाले हुए गाय अपने आप दूध दे रही है. Have I shown you the video one time? Did I again? Have this video, I'll show you. So the kingdom of Yudhishthir Maharaj was such that, this verse also says this. Shishichu sma vrajan gava payaso dhasyati muda. The cows would muddy the land with their milk. The rivers would give all the minerals. Nadya samudra giraya sa vanaspati virudha. All the medicinal plants, they would give proper medicines. All the minerals, all the pearls, everything is provided. So the nature provides everything when we serve the Supreme Lord. So that is the understanding of Manav seva and Madhav seva. We don't exalt कि मानव सेवा ही सब कुछ है भाई और माधव सेवा तो फालतू है. And we don't say मानव सेवा तो useless है, connect to Madhav. No. The best Manav seva is connecting Manav to Madhav and utilize whatever is there to bring that Manava close to Krishna. So that is very, very important. So some people, they are selfish materialists. They work only for themselves. Some people, they are selfless materialists. You will find some people, they will do lots of social welfare activity. भर भर के समाज सेवा करेंगे, but they are completely atheistic. You know, one of the NGOs, their tagline is God sends disasters, we send relief. So that's how atheistic these people are. They don't understand what is happening, what are they doing. So we are not selfish materialist nor selfless materialist. We are devotional activist. We try to connect all the living entities to the Supreme Lord, and on the way, whatever is needed, we will do the needful also. So that is how the best Manav Seva is to connect Manav to Madhav and to make Madhav accessible to Manav. And that is how Vedic culture was. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any questions anybody has? कुछ प्रश्न है तो पूछ लीजिए.